Chosen one, you will not lose me or the love of Christ, simply because you leave a message, but at this moment, you need to pause long enough to recognize what is drawing you away from peace, truth, and the right path. My beloved child, I am Michael, and I have not come to force you to react within 15 seconds, nor do I use fear to keep you here. Heavenly love is not a countdown clock, and mercy does not disappear merely because you hesitate for a moment. Nevertheless, there are times when haste, exhaustion, and the habit of scrolling past everything cause you to miss an important reminder. Therefore, I invite you to pause, take a deep breath, and look carefully at the next 24 hours. Not every distraction is evidence of a mysterious power, but prolonged distraction can cause you to live without knowing what truly deserves your attention. This is the moment to return to awareness, not because you are afraid of losing me, but because you deserve to live with clarity. Perhaps recently you have felt watched, judged, or quietly opposed. Certain looks, words, or actions from others have made you uneasy, and you have begun wondering who might want you to fail. I understand that feeling, but I do not want you to turn every minor incident, every sound, or every flickering screen into proof that darkness is surrounding you. You need discernment, not panic. Those who truly wish to hinder your progress can only become more powerful when you allow suspicion to consume your mind, leaving you unable to focus on your responsibilities, boundaries, and practical decisions. I hold the sword of truth to cut through the assumptions that exhaust you. You do not need to know what everyone thinks about you. You only need to know how you are living. Keep your words honest, your work transparent, your relationships properly bounded, and your heart free from hatred. When you walk in this way, unhealthy intentions lose the place where they once found a grip. I also know that you have experienced days when you were so tired that you wanted to put everything down. You woke without feeling restored, began a task, only to lose focus quickly, and sometimes imagined that an invisible weight was holding you back. But, my beloved child, do not rush to conclude that exhaustion must always come from a mysterious battle. Perhaps you have not slept enough, have carried too many responsibilities, have remained around people who drain your energy, or have forced yourself to appear strong for too long. Wisdom is just as sacred as courage. Resting at the proper time is not failure. Sharing your burden with someone trustworthy is not weakness. Caring for your health, reorganizing your schedule, and saying no to what overwhelms you are all acts of self-protection. I do not want you fighting enemies created by fear while your real needs remain neglected. Begin with what is close at hand. Drink water, breathe slowly, step away from the noise, get enough sleep, and complete one task at a time. If someone has spoken your name with malice, spread rumors, or intentionally harmed your reputation, trust that truth does not require you to become a person of vengeance. I do not direct my sword against a woman or any other person merely because you suspect them. Justice cannot be built upon accusations without evidence, and protection does not mean living in obsession over a hidden enemy. Look at the situation with clear eyes. If real harm has occurred, preserve the evidence, speak with someone responsible, establish boundaries, and seek appropriate support. If you are dealing only with an unconfirmed feeling, remain calm and do not nurture a story that makes you more frightened each day. I protect you through wisdom, awareness, the courage to speak truth, and the good people placed along your path. Lasting protection does not cause you to tremble before every shadow. It helps you remain steady amid what is still unclear. Christ does not kneel and beg for your attention because he fears you will miss a video, nor does he hold disaster over your family with a hand that is about to let go. Remove every image that turns love into a threat. True love does not say that you must type a certain word, remain until the end, or perform a ritual on a screen in exchange for a blessing. No number has the power to purchase healing, and no comment can determine the destiny of your family line. What is given through the light cannot be turned into a transaction. You may pray in a quiet room, on your way to work, through your tears, or during a moment when no words can be spoken. What matters is not the external form, but sincerity, responsibility, and the decision to live differently after you recognize what is right. There are tears you have never allowed anyone to see. Moments when you were wounded but continued smiling, and nights when you lay silently because you did not want to disturb anyone. I know these things, yet I do not want you to use your pain to wish that those who hurt you would carry regret through many generations. You are not healed by imagining someone else being haunted by consequences. Justice is necessary, but silent revenge will bind you to the very person from whom you wish to be free. I want to place a crown of dignity upon you, not a fire of bitterness. Let the consequences belong to their actions, and let peace belong to your choices. Forgiveness does not necessarily mean restoring the relationship. Often, it is simply the decision not to allow the past to continue controlling today. You may leave, close the door, maintain your distance, and still have no need to curse anyone. Your life is not an unfinished scroll, waiting for one click to determine its final line. Your future is not confined to a single moment, and one mistake cannot erase every opportunity. You will continue learning, correcting, beginning again, and maturing through many seasons. Nevertheless, each choice you make today still matters. If you continue delaying what must be done, natural consequences will follow. If you ignore the warning signs of a harmful relationship, a health problem, or a career moving in the wrong direction, the door may close not because of heavenly punishment, but because time and circumstances have changed. Therefore, act not because you are afraid of being replaced, but because you value the opportunity before you. Send the letter that must be sent, complete what you promised, apologize where you were wrong, leave the place that drains you, and seek help when you cannot resolve something alone. Today I want you to make one specific choice to regain authority over your attention. Put your phone down for a while, write down 3 things that are causing you anxiety, and separate them into 2 groups: what you can act upon and what you cannot yet control. From the first group, choose one small step and take it calmly. With the second group, stop repeatedly turning it over in your mind, entrust it to a greater care, and return to the present. You do not overcome darkness through panic. You defeat it through an orderly way of life, pure speech, upright decisions, and kindness that is not naive. Your breakthrough does not depend upon reading the final line. It is found in the way you live. After this reminder has ended. Therefore, my beloved child, remain with truth, not because you are frightened that heaven will be taken away from you. No one can steal what is built through mature faith, discipline, kindness, and steadfast steps. The doors of healing, protection, justice, and opportunity do not open through a mysterious code. They often open when you dare to speak truth, seek the right support, care for yourself, and persevere in what is good. I will walk beside you as the voice of courage, helping you distinguish intuition from fear and a genuine warning from manipulation. Move forward without needing to prove that you are more chosen than anyone else. You are loved, and because you are loved, you may choose freely. Lift your head, breathe deeply, return to peace, and do the next right thing. That is the command worthy of your response at this moment. Do you still believe that this person has stopped remembering you? When they have repeatedly opened their phone simply to see whether your name would appear on the screen. There have been moments when they told themselves they would wait no longer, yet their hand still unconsciously returned to the old conversation, and their eyes still lingered upon photographs that once brought peace to their heart. They stared for a long time at one picture of you, not because the image was perfect, but because there was something familiar in your eyes that made them feel as though they had found a place to which they could return. They also reread the last message you sent, silently thinking about what they should have said, which apologies they should have acknowledged, and which truth should never have remained hidden for so long. I tell you this, not so that you will chase vague fantasies, but so that you may understand that a person's silence does not always mean coldness. Some hearts become silent because they do not know where to begin, and some people withdraw not because their love has ended, but because they fear what will happen if they draw near once more. My beloved child, the person you are thinking about has been carrying a painful inner struggle. That burden does not come from something you did wrong, but from the fear that if they reveal the entire truth, you will look at them differently. They are afraid of losing you, yet that very fear causes them to behave as though they are prepared to let you go. I have watched them attempt to convince themselves that distance is the wiser choice, and that leaving first would hurt less than being abandoned in the end. Yet, the more they try to close the door, the more they realize that your presence remains within every silence. A song may remind them of you. A familiar place may be enough to bring old memories rushing back. Even while speaking with someone else, part of them still wonders where you are, whether you are at peace, and whether you still hold a small place for them within your heart. Everything became more complicated when they recently made a decision under the influence of outside voices. Someone told them that you were too strong, too deep, too difficult to understand, or too different for the two of you to walk together for long. Someone caused them to believe that this relationship would bring only challenges and that they should choose an easier path or a person who would not force them to confront the unhealed parts of themselves. They listened because they were weary, and when people are weary, they often mistake escape for peace. But my child, others can see only part of the story. They do not know how many times you gently supported this person without asking to be recognized. They do not understand why a single sentence from you could cause them to reflect for days, nor do they know that the strength within you was not given to overpower anyone, but to awaken courage in people who have become accustomed to living beneath the shadow of fear. I want you to remember that being chosen to awaken someone does not mean that you must take responsibility for all of their choices. You may be a lamp, but you cannot force someone to open their eyes. You may speak truth with love, but you do not need to kneel and beg anyone to believe in your worth. There is a sacred boundary between patience and injuring yourself in order to hold on to someone who is not ready. Therefore, do not rush toward them simply because you hear that they miss you. Let truth be demonstrated through action, maturity, and honesty. Sincere love is not measured only by tears shed at night, photographs repeatedly viewed, or words whispered but never spoken directly. It must step into the light, learn to accept responsibility, and become courageous enough to say, "I was wrong. I was afraid. But now I want to face this honestly. This person is keeping something they have never told anyone." It may be a confession they wrote and then erased, a folded sheet of paper hidden away, or a message that was never sent. Within it are words they have not possessed enough courage to say directly to you. That you changed the way they see themselves. That your presence both comforted and challenged them. And that leaving you did not bring the relief they expected. Yet you do not need to search for these hidden pieces of evidence. You do not need to open anyone's drawer, investigate every sign, or attempt to decode every silence. What belongs to truth will find its way out of hiding. When someone is truly ready, they will not require you to live forever among unanswered questions. They will come with clarity, because mature love does not preserve confusion in order to maintain power over another person's emotions. I know that there are times when you suddenly remember them with great intensity, as though a wave passes through your heart without warning. You may be sitting quietly when their name suddenly rises in your mind. Sometimes, a familiar feeling causes you to pause and wonder whether they are thinking about you. I do not want you to deny these subtle movements, but neither do I want you to turn every feeling into an absolute declaration. Receive them calmly. Perhaps a memory is speaking. Perhaps your heart is processing something that has never been properly resolved, or perhaps a connection between you still needs to be clarified. Whatever the cause, you do not need to panic or act hastily. Observe whether the feeling leads you toward peace or draws you into obsession. What comes from the light will make you clearer, kinder, and more stable. It will not turn you into someone who must beg, control, or depend entirely upon a single answer. Do not tell this story to people who enjoy judging, mocking, or turning private matters into chaos. Not everyone needs to know what is taking place within your heart. Some seeds must be protected in silence until they are strong enough to rise. However, discretion does not mean that you must isolate yourself or believe you are carrying a mysterious secret that no one is permitted to approach. When you need advice, seek someone wise, honest, and sincerely concerned for your well-being. Healthy guidance will not provoke you to pursue someone at any cost. It will help you preserve your dignity, distinguish emotion from truth, and choose a path that does not cost you the peace you spent so long rebuilding. A shift is approaching, but it does not depend upon whether you attempt to hold on to this person. It depends upon whether both of you are prepared to abandon fear and enter into honesty. If they return while continuing to hide, allowing others to make their decisions, appearing only when they are lonely, and disappearing whenever responsibility is required, you must be strong enough not to call that a miracle. But if they come with a heart willing to acknowledge wrongdoing, clear words, and consistent actions, you may listen without rushing. Forgiveness does not require you to reopen every door immediately. Love does not require you to forget the lessons through which you matured. A genuine reconciliation must be built upon truth, boundaries, and respect. Otherwise, it will merely be the old cycle wearing new clothing. Therefore, my child, do not turn away solely because of anger, but do not remain solely because you are afraid of missing a miracle. Stand firmly in your worth and allow what is true to approach you. You do not need to chase what truly belongs in your life, because it will know how to come with clarity. I am teaching you a love more noble than anxious waiting, a love that does not require you to make yourself smaller in order to be chosen. If this person is called to walk with you, they must learn to stand upon their own feet, speak with their own voice, and protect what is precious from the influence of outside voices. As for you, continue living, growing, and keeping your heart pure. When the proper moment arrives, the truth will no longer remain upon a hidden page, within an unsent message, or inside a whisper in the night. It will stand before you, through a person courageous enough to speak it aloud, and then you will no longer need to guess. You will know through peace, because what is good does not come to leave you disoriented. It comes to restore you to clarity, freedom, and the love your heart deserves. Tonight, be at peace, because your home is covered by protection. Not so that you will fear what you cannot see, but so that you may remember that darkness has no authority to determine your family's future. I am near you as a gentle guardian, and messengers of light stand around the things you cherish with order and peace. Certain burdens have passed through many generations, patterns of sorrow, hurtful words, fears of scarcity, and fractures within family relationships that once caused you to believe your household would remain trapped in the same cycle forever. But what has been passed down does not necessarily need to continue. A cycle can end when one person becomes courageous enough to choose truth, compassion, and a new way of living. Tonight is not a time for panic. It is a time to lay down what no longer belongs to you and open your heart, so that healing may begin within your home. If you suddenly feel cold, anxious, or tired, do not rush to interpret every physical sensation as a sign of disaster or evidence that something mysterious is threatening you. Breathe slowly, drink some water, sit quietly, and listen for peace. I do not guide you through panic, nor do I use fear to force you to believe. Sometimes, a shiver is merely a natural reaction, and sleepiness is simply a reminder that you are exhausted. You do not need to resist rest in order to prove your faith. Care for yourself gently, because peace is also a form of protection. When your heart becomes still, you will be able to distinguish the voice of hope from the echoes of old anxiety. I know that you have endured years of feeling trapped in scarcity, insecurity, and heartache. At times, you wondered why good doors opened so slowly, while difficulties seemed to arrive so quickly. But your present circumstances are not your final name. You were not created to remain in despair forever, nor are you defined by financial hardship, broken relationships, or nights when your mind could not rest. I am teaching you to rebuild each part with wisdom. Manage what you possess. Establish boundaries against what drains you. Seek help when necessary, and do not feel ashamed of beginning again. Your crown is not authority to stand above others. It is restored dignity and the ability to lift your head without seeking revenge. You must also hear me clearly concerning the people around you. Do not allow suspicion to turn every glance into surveillance, every silence into a conspiracy, and every mistake into betrayal. Someone may have been dishonest or unfair toward you, but you do not need to construct a courtroom inside your mind. If documents, agreements, or practical matters involving your name are at stake, examine them calmly, preserve evidence, consult someone qualified, and protect your rights through honest means. I do not call you to fight through rage or curses. Your responsibility is to live with integrity, Speak only what is supported by facts, and refuse to allow pain to drive you toward condemnation before you fully understand the situation. Some relationships have wounded you because someone you considered close spoke about you behind closed doors. I know that such an experience can cause you to lose trust and want to close your heart to everyone. Yet do not allow one dishonest person to take away your ability to recognize sincere people. What needs to be revealed will become known through time. The results of people's actions and the consistency of their conduct. You do not need to chase every rumor or answer every voice. Establish boundaries, limit the access of those who repeatedly harm you, and remain kind without surrendering discernment. Protection does not always arrive through a dramatic event. Sometimes it comes through the awareness that helps you recognize who should remain near and what is no longer worth carrying. I have seen the tears you concealed, but I do not want you to believe that suffering is the payment required to receive love or a miracle. Your tears are precious because they reveal what your heart has endured, not because you need to suffer more in order to be heard. You do not need to prove your worth by exhausting yourself. I was beside you when you nearly gave up, when you believed no one cared, and when pressure made you want to disappear. The fact that you are still here does not mean that you must continue carrying everything alone. Allow someone trustworthy to know that you are tired. Seek support through an honest conversation, a relative who knows how to listen, or an appropriate professional. Receiving help does not make your faith smaller. It may be the very arm through which love lifts you back to your feet. Whether before midnight or after dawn, the miracle I want you to recognize is not necessarily an event that changes the entire world in an instant. Sometimes a miracle begins when you sleep peacefully for one night. When a tense conversation is replaced by gentle words, when you become courageous enough to examine a problem you have avoided, or when you decide to stop a habit that has been exhausting you. Do not allow numbers, specific hours, or sensational promises to convince you that a blessing will disappear unless you react immediately. I do not withdraw love because you fail to type a word, share a message, or remain awake through the night. The bond between you and me is not measured by a hurried action, but by sincerity and the way you choose to live each day. Therefore, tonight, close the doors that need to be closed, check your home with ordinary caution, and then allow your mind to rest. Forgive yourself for the times you trusted the wrong people, but also learn from those experiences. Pray for peace within your family, while also speaking words of reconciliation where possible, making plans for what is lacking, and protecting those you love through practical actions. I do not want you living as though you are being hunted. I want you to walk as someone who knows that they are loved and has the right to choose what is good. Let what is severed tonight be panic, self-condemnation, and the belief that you are incapable of changing. Your crown is restored every time you reclaim your dignity, keep your heart pure, and refuse to allow injury to turn you into a bitter person. I am here to remind you that tomorrow remains open. You still possess choices, and love is still leading you toward life, peace, and a purer beginning. Do not hurry past this moment, because something that has been hidden for too long is preparing to reach you through the words of the very person you believed would remain silent forever. Within their mind, each sentence is being rearranged after many moments of hesitation. There are things they have written and erased, and words they wanted to send before their hand stopped halfway because of fear, pride, or a lack of courage to face the truth. Yet the season of silence is reaching its final limit. A message, a phone call, or an unexpected encounter may reveal what you previously could only sense through intuition. It may be the admission you once hoped to hear, an overdue apology, or a truth that astonishes you because it explains what once left you confused. I want you to receive it calmly, because when that door opens, many scattered pieces of your story will begin returning to their proper places. I know that during the past few days, you have wondered whether you misunderstood everything. You looked back upon someone's eyes, words, distance, and subtle changes, trying to find an explanation within their silence. At times, you blamed yourself for being too sensitive. At other times, you clearly sensed that something remained unspoken behind that silence. My beloved child, you do not need to continue exhausting yourself through speculation. What must be revealed cannot remain hidden forever, and what belongs to truth always finds a way into the light at the proper time. I did not lead you through days of uncertainty only to abandon you there. I have been teaching you to distinguish between fear created by the past and the gentle prompting placed within your heart to help you recognize what is truly happening. What is approaching is not meant to disturb you once again, but to bring an end to a cycle of uncertainty that has lasted far too long. When this person finally speaks, you may hear things that contradict the calm appearance they once displayed. Perhaps they have missed you more than you imagined, regretted their choices more deeply than they admitted, or carried a secret that prevents them from continuing as though nothing ever happened. Their words may not perfectly resemble what you hoped to hear, but they may still bring you a precious gift. Clarity. Sometimes an answer does not come to keep someone in your life, but to free you from continuing to stand before a door that no longer belongs to you. Whether the truth leads you toward reconciliation or toward a different beginning, you will no longer need to live among assumptions that exhaust your heart. Therefore, when that message arrives, do not answer hastily. Allow your heart to become still before choosing your words. You do not need to prove that you were right, nor do you need to return the pain you once received. Your true strength will be revealed through calmness, through your ability to listen without losing your worth, and through knowing how to remain open while preserving necessary boundaries. I am not teaching you to become cold. I only want you to become discerning enough not to surrender all your trust because of beautiful words. A sincere apology is always accompanied by change. A genuine confession is always accompanied by responsibility. Pure affection does not force you to exchange your peace in order to keep it. Observe their next actions, because actions will clarify what words may attempt to conceal. You passed through long periods of silence, not because you were forgotten, but because certain things needed to mature in stillness before they could be placed into your hands. During the days when no answer came, you learned to stand on your own, to care for wounds you once waited for someone else to heal, and to understand that your worth does not depend upon whether another person chooses to stay or leave. That growth will help you receive the truth without being swept away by it. If what you are about to hear is what you once desired, you can still rejoice without losing discernment. If it is something painful, you are now steady enough not to collapse. I have been quietly preparing you for this moment. Through every challenge you once believed you could not survive.